Hey guys, we're back. Welcome back to Retrograde and Kirby's Dream Course. We are on Course 3 right now, and this is Episode 3, so that's fitting. Ideally, we'll be doing a course per episode unless they just get so hard that I somehow can't manage to do them, even though I've beat this game a billion times. But, I mean, crazier things have happened on this show. But, so anyway, one of the things that I wanted to talk about in this episode is movies. So if you guys aren't aware, I'm a huge movie buff. I love movies. Love watching them, would love to make them one day. And, and one of the things that I'm excited for, currently about 2016 and 17, and I mean more so 2017 right now because all those movies have come out since, but like there's a lot of good movies that are out right now and that are coming out, especially ones that I'm really interested in. So I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I adore it. For Christmas, my parents got me a ton of Star Wars stuff. And I'm an adult, so that says something. Hiccups. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm gonna take a drink really quickly, hopefully to get them out of my system. Hold on. Okay. That did not help, but hopefully it clears everything. But anyway, so like Star Wars, for example, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I always have been. Loved the idea of it ever since I was a kid. Loved the movies when I was a kid. Started to really love the franchise when I was an adult. And, I think the movies are, amazing, and I think that they're definitely works of art. But apparently Rogue One, from what I understand, is arguably one of the better movies in the franchise. And that says a lot, especially for one that supposedly doesn't have a lot of the themes that make a Star Wars movie. And these are things I've heard, not necessarily that I've seen or read, or not the other way around. I've not seen the movies, so I'm basing these opinions off of things that I've seen or read, is what I meant to say. But a lot of people have been saying that it makes for a lot of great potential spin-off movies, which I can totally see them doing. I know that they're doing a Star Wars like Han Solo movie, or they've been in talks about that. Why the fuck did I think that was a good idea? I went way too far on that. But I know that they're doing a Star Wars Han Solo movie. And then I know that they're wanting to do, I know that they've mentioned, adding onto the story more in terms of, like, sequels. And I know that they're doing that for, like, 8 and, 9, and potentially, as far as I've heard, 10, 11, and 12. And I'm excited for those movies. Because, if Rogue One was good, and, they did it with minimal Jedi-related action happening, I know for a matter of fact they could do a kick-ass Han Solo movie. I know for a matter of fact they could do a kick-ass, anything else, honestly. The Star Wars franchise has a lot of room to mess with, just because, as the pretext in the movie goes, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and that means that these movies are entirely up for interpretation because, if it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there's aliens, and that means that because there's aliens, there's room to fuck with the franchise because, it all has to be related in one giant story, but who says that it has to be related in one story altogether. They can do spin-offs, they can do, they can do a lot of shit. I'm surprised I did that in 2 shots. These are things that I've heard, and these are things that I'm interested in seeing what the Star Wars franchise can do. But on top of that, I've been super interested in the Spider-Man franchise. So they've been announcing a lot of new stuff about Spider-Man these past few days. Some of it amazing, and some of it amazing, some of it. So I wasted that entire shot right there for whatever reason. But honest to God, it's probably good that I did, because now I don't know what I was thinking, but now I can maybe angle it down towards another one. There's the Spider-Man movies are always great. They always have been. Even the Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire ones, I have a very strong opinion of I have a very strong opinion of any Spider-Man related thing. Just because when I was a kid, Spider-Man was like the world to me. To me, a Spider-Man movie has to be perfect, There's no way you can, do that and fuck it up. You're not supposed to anyway. Like, you have to do it right. But as far as I'm aware, this new, this new cinematic universe that they're creating, Disney with Sony, is interesting. There's a lot of potential for, good actors and good characters and things like that. As far as I'm aware, it's just Peter Parker, Tony Stark. I don't know who the guy is, but then there's a girl named Michelle, who I'm assuming is Zendaya. It's Zendaya, and she's not supposed to be Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, but it's supposed to be like the equivalent, essentially, I'm assuming. But it looks like a good movie overall, and I'm excited for it because, there's a lot of good superhero movies out there, but oh my god, that would have been a great hole-in-one. I just needed to give it a little bit more initial power. That sucks. There's a ton of room for Spider-Man to be a great successful franchise again. I think the Andrew Garfield movies were great. I love the Tobey Maguire ones. Tobey Maguire ones will always have a special place in my heart, just because they were like the first Spider-Man movies I ever saw. Is that possible? Oh, it's entirely possible. Actually, let's get ready to click just in case I miss. Yeah, just in case I miss. Okay, it didn't. Cool. I don't know. There's a ton of potential in this franchise doing more than it already has done, especially with the Tom Holland character, and especially with including itself in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Avengers storyline is already, interesting enough. Mix in Spider-Man and, as far as I'm aware, it can only get more interesting. The one problem, or not the one problem, but the one thing I see facing this entire story and franchise in the future, though, as a potential issue, is the fact that the owning rights are so split down the middle. So Disney, if people aren't aware, owns the Avengers, while Sony owns the Spider-Man portion. And for those who aren't aware, they have one of the biggest movie rivalries of all time. You know, they don't like sharing likenesses. They don't like to be even associated with each other, because, you know, Sony Spider-Man movies, or not Spider-Man, but Sony, you know, superhero movies are, you know, a little more notorious for other things. And, you know, basically though, like, essentially, it's going to be hard to share these licenses, because, you know, Spider-Man is such a sought-after character in the movie business. He's worth millions and millions of dollars easily in revenue. Okay, can I... Oh god, okay, so that didn't work. Sorry for the hiccups, guys. You know, Spider-Man is easily worth millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue, even, you know, potentially, you know, in the, you know, well, definitely in the 100 millions. I was gonna say billions, but, you know, I'm not quite sure if it's, well, okay, it's arguably worth billions, but, you know, it's basically just like, no, it is worth billions, yeah. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, guys. No, it is worth billions. The problem with it is, though, is he's so sought after as a character that Sony wants him, and so does Disney, and they don't want to share him because he's such a expensive character, and everybody likes him, and the story is so driven, and things of that nature. But I'm excited because I know those movies will do, you know, really good, if time works, you know, in its favor and things of that nature. But I don't know. I'm interested in seeing how Sony handles, well, Sony and Disney. I'm interested in seeing how they handle sharing a license and a name. I know that he was in Captain America, and I know that was apparently a huge success. But seeing them make their own movies and mixing Disney characters, contracts, and things of that nature, that can only be a little bit concerning. But anyways, I'm going to end off this episode here. I'm so sorry that I still got hiccups. They will not go away. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys very much, and hope that you guys have been having a wonderful week, and we will talk to you guys later. See ya. Bye. Hiccups. They're not fun.